Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold, only on AAU TV.
It's time to celebrate the 2025 African Universities Day, brought to you by the Association of African Universities AAU. On November 12th, universities across Africa will unite to celebrate knowledge, reflect on progress, and shape the future of higher education on the continent. From the 10th to the 14th of November, a rich lineup of activities will take place, including high-level symposiums, student debates, policy dialogues, an innovation expo, awards gala, and many more. The celebration will be held in a hybrid format, with events taking place virtually and at the AAU headquarters in Accra, Ghana. This year's celebration will focus on the theme, the future of learning in Africa, technology, innovation, skills, and inclusive growth. Join African universities, policymakers, industries, development partners, and key stakeholders across Africa to explore the future of African higher education.
It's 12 o'clock GMT and you're welcome to the AAU TV Midweek News. We're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. Now to our top stories for today. In higher education, UG provides over 300 accredited programs. And in health, Mpox outbreak expands across Africa. In business, Dangote refinery boosts output nationwide. And international, Nigeria reacts to U.S. military warning. Please stay with us for more news on the AAU TV Midweek News. We'll be right back. My name is Jemima, Deladem Dotsey. Welcome back from the break, and now to the news in detail. The University of Ghana, UG, currently offers over 300 accredited academic programs across undergraduate and graduate levels. Located at its Legon campus and affiliated facilities, the university serves more than 73,000 students, including 667 international learners. As Ghana's oldest university, University of Ghana operates through 4 colleges: basic and applied sciences, education, health sciences, and humanities, supported by central administration and international partnerships. The institution's diverse offerings spans medicine, law, engineering, business, arts, and environmental studies, with programs tailored to national development needs. With 6,565 faculty and staff, UG continues to shape Ghana's academic landscape through research, innovation, and inclusive education.
sciences, education, health sciences, and humanities. These colleges are supported by the School of Graduate Studies and the Office of International Programs, which coordinates global partnership and student exchange. From medicine and law to engineering, business, and the arts, University of Ghana's programs reflect Ghana's evolving professional landscape. Students can pursue degrees in nuclear science, climate change, public health, and strategic communication, while Business School offers MBA and EMBA programs tailored to industry needs. With 6,565 faculty and staff, the university emphasizes both teaching and research. Its university system allows each college to develop specialized programs while maintaining unified academic standards. Admission requirements vary by program, with undergraduate applicants typically needing strong West African Senior School certificate results and graduate programs requiring relevant degrees and experience. The University of Ghana also offers flexible learning options, including weekend and distance programs for working professionals. Accredited by the National Accreditation Board and supported by professional bodies, the university continues to expand its reach, preparing students not just for jobs, but for leadership in Ghana and beyond.
Still on higher education, Telecel Ghana has called for the integration of sign language studies into Ghana's education system and service delivery, emphasizing that communication barriers continue to deny over 211,000 deaf and hard of hearing citizens access to services. The appeal was made during the International Week of Deaf celebration held in Salt Pond in October 28th, organized by the Infantaman chapter of the Ghana National Association of the Deaf. The event, themed No Human Rights Without Sign Language, brought together deaf community members from 5 district social welfare officials and corporate partners. Telecel Ghana used the occasion to highlight its Supercare initiative launched in 2016 to provide accessible customer service via sign language through video and WhatsApp calls.
Speaking on behalf of Telecel Ghana, Rita Adiasi, Customer Operations and Experience Center Manager, described the lack of sign language access as a national concern, one that systematically excludes deaf citizens from education, healthcare, and public services. The company reaffirmed its commitment through its Supercare initiative launched in 2016, which allows deaf customers to connect with agents via video or WhatsApp in sign language. Telecel's leadership, including CEO Patricia Obunai and General Manager Mercy Dawn Akude, also participated in the national celebration in Accra, donating tech equipment to support deaf advocacy. Throughout October, the company extended its accessibility efforts to social media, offering sign language tutorials and staff training. Officials from the Department of Social Welfare echoed calls from sign language trained personnel in schools and hospitals, while leaders from the Infantaman Association of Deaf praised Telecel's support and urged other companies to follow suit. With over 211,000 deaf and hard of hearing individuals in Ghana, the need for inclusive communication is urgent. The Persons with Disabilities Bill 2024, currently under review, proposes recognizing Ghanaian Sign Language as an official language, but whether it will be passed and enforced remains uncertain. As other African nations like South Africa, Kenya, and Rwanda advance sign language policy, Ghana's deaf community continues to advocate for systematic change. Telecel's efforts show what is possible, but lasting impact will require government action, funding, and accountability.
The World Health Organization (WHO) has issued a global alert over the rising spread of Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, after 17 countries reported ongoing transmission between September 14th and October 19th. During the 6 weeks period, 2,862 confirmed cases and 17 deaths were recorded. The virus has now been detected for the first time in Malaysia, Namibia, the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain, signaling a concerning geographic expansion beyond Africa. The WHO is urging countries to ramp up surveillance, improve vaccine access, and strengthen infection control measures to prevent the disease from becoming entrenched. The warnings comes as public health experts worry about underreported cases and the emergency of new variants, emphasizing that contaminant is still possible, but only through coordinated global actions.
The World Health Organization is sounding an alarm as Mpox continues to spread across Africa and beyond. In the past 6 weeks alone, 17 African countries have reported active transmission, with 2,862 confirmed cases and 17 deaths recorded between September 14th and October 19th. What's more concerning is the virus' appearance in new territories. For the first time, Mpox has been detected in Malaysia, Namibia, the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain, marking a troubling expansion beyond its traditional footprint. While the overall fatality rate remains relatively low, the resurgence is complicating global public health efforts and raising red flags about underreported transmission and the possibility of emerging variants. In its latest report, the World Health Organization is calling for heightened surveillance, broader vaccine access, and stronger infection control protocols. The agency warns that without swift and coordinated action, Mpox could become entrenched in communities worldwide. The message is clear: containment is still achievable, but it demands urgency, collaboration, and investment.
We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring you Discovery News. Stay tuned.
The Association of African Universities, together with its Southern Africa Regional Office and Europe Regional Office hosted by the University of Nottingham, invites you to the International Conference on the Responsible Use of Artificial Intelligence and Emerging Technologies in Higher Education 2026, happening from the 18th to 20th of February 2026 at the Namibia University of Science and Technology in Windhoek, Namibia. The conference will bring together scholars, innovators, and industry leaders to explore the ethical and responsible integration of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies in higher education. Expect inspiring keynotes, workshops, hackathons, and industry exhibitions, all designed to drive collaboration and innovation across Africa's higher education ecosystem. Accepted papers will be published by Taylor and Francis, with select extended versions featured in the Journal of Responsible Technology. Submit your papers by October 17, 2025 and be part of this forward-thinking conversation. To register or learn more, visit the link on your screen. For further information, please send an email to the addresses on your screen.
You're welcome back from the break, and now to our Discovery story. Uganda has secured a landmark $31 million in results-based climate finance from the Green Climate Fund, following a decision reached on October 30th in Sondo, South Korea. The funding recognizes verified forest conservation efforts carried out between 2016 and 2017, making Uganda the first African nation and the first least developed country to receive climate financing of this scale. The payout reward towards a measurable reduction of over 8 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emission achieved through community-led reforestation and land governance reforms. The funds will support future resilience efforts, including timber plantations, alternative livelihoods, and land turnout protections, with Uganda's Ministry of Water and Environment and the FAO framing it as seed capital for rural climate adaptation. This milestone positions Uganda as a model for Africa's climate finance future, where payments are made not for promises, but for proof.
Uganda has made history in the global climate finance arena. On October 30th in Seoul, South Korea, the Green Climate Fund approved a landmark $31 million payout to Uganda, recognizing its verified forest conservation efforts between 2016 and 2017. This makes Uganda the first African country and the first least developed country to receive results-based climate financing to this magnitude. The funding rewards a reduction of over 8 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions, a climate achievement comparable to nurturing 133 million tree seedlings for a decade. Uganda's success stems from community-led reforestation, satellite monitoring, and land government reforms, efforts that have reversed deforestation trends in one of Africa's most ecologically vulnerable regions. The money won't go to government coffers. Instead, it will support future resilience, expanding timber plantations, promoting alternative livelihoods, and strengthening land tenure for indigenous and forest-dependent communities. With over 90% of Uganda households relying on wood fuel, these investments aim to reduce pressure on natural forests while improving energy and food security. Uganda's Ministry of Water and Environment and the Food and Drug Authority calls this funding seed capital for rural climate adaptation. It is also a signal to global partners that Africa is delivering measurable results. While the continent holds 17% of the world's forests, it receives less than 5% of climate finance, and only a fraction reaches local communities. Uganda's achievements could reshape Africa's climate finance narrative, from pledges and pilots to payments backed by proof. And as countries across the Congo Basin race to replicate this model, one thing is clear: forest conservation isn't just environmental idealism, it is economic survival.
In sports, Kenya dominated the New York Marathon on Sunday, with Benson Kipruto winning the closest finish in the event's history and Ellen Obiri setting a new course record in the women's race. Kipruto crossed the line in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 9 seconds, with just 0.16 seconds ahead of compatriot Alexander Mutiso after an intense final mile battle. Albert Corey placed third as Kenya swept the podium. In the women's event, Obiri retained her title with a record-breaking 2 hours, 19 minutes and 51 seconds, surpassing the 2003 course record by almost 3 minutes.
Kenya recorded a historic double at the New York Marathon on Sunday. In the men's race, Benson Kipruto claimed victory in the closest finish the event has ever seen. He won in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 9 seconds, beating fellow Kenyan Alexander Mutiso by just 0.16 of a second after a dramatic sprint finish through Central Park. Albert Korir secured third place, giving Kenya a clean sweep of the podium. In the women's event, defending champion Helen Obiri produced a powerful late surge to retain her title in record-breaking fashion. She crossed the line in 2 hours, 19 minutes and 51 seconds, smashing the 22-year-old course record previously held by Margaret Okayo. Kenya once again locked out the top spots, with Sharon Lokedi finishing second and Sheila Shepkiru third. It was a memorable day for Kenyan athletics as both races delivered outstanding performances and podium dominance.
In entertainment, the Nigeria film crew community has condemned the alleged assault of a crew member on the set of Lagos to Opulent. Production manager Enyobo Courage reportedly attacked the head of makeup and hair, leading to his arrest. The victim is receiving medical care. The NFCC also exposed poor welfare conditions, including 15 female crew members sharing one room, and is calling for disciplinary action. This follows recent reports of similar incidents in Nollywood, increasing calls for better protection and welfare for film crews.
There is growing outrage in Nollywood following a reported case of assault and crew abuse on a movie set in Lagos. The Nigeria film crew community has condemned the incident, which took place on the set of Lagos to Opulence, a Kadili production project. According to the NFCC, production manager Enyobo Courage allegedly physically attacked the head of makeup and hair, Mary Chizi Ize, after she reportedly spoke up about the mistreatment of crew members. A video circulating online shows the manager violently assaulting the crew member. He has since been arrested while the victim is receiving medical care. The NFCC also exposed extremely poor welfare conditions on the same set, where 15 female crew members were reportedly housed in a single room. Industry bodies are being urged to take swift disciplinary action, including blacklisting their production manager from future projects. This incident follows a previous case involving actor Femi Branch, who allegedly assaulted an assistant director during a shoot earlier this year. With repeated reports of violence and poor working conditions behind the scenes, the calling for stricter regulations and enforceable codes of conduct in Nollywood is growing stronger. The NFCC's recent statement is being viewed as a turning point as film workers demand respect, safety, and accountability across the industry. Applications are now open for the 2026 World Bank Group Young Professionals Program, a prestigious leadership track for exceptional global talent across the World Bank, IFC, and MEGA. The program offers a 2-year contract with leadership training, mentoring, and career growth opportunities. Eligible applicants must be citizens of the World Bank Group member country, hold at least a master's degree completed before September 1st, 2026, and have 2 to 6 years of professional experience. Employment begins on September 1st, 2026 in Washington, D.C. or at the World Bank office worldwide. Applications open September 1st and closes September 30th, 2025. For full details, visit the World Bank Group Young Professionals Program webpage.
Nigeria's Dangote Petroleum Refinery says it is increasing petrol and diesel production to meet national demand following the government's approval of a new 15% import tariff on fuel to protect local refineries. The 650,000 barrel per day facility, Africa's largest, is now loading over 45 million liters of petrol and 25 million liters of diesel daily, surpassing the country's consumption needs. Since beginning petrol production in 2024, the refinery has helped reduce pump prices and ease fuel shortage. However, some fuel traders warn the tariff could weaken import competition and potentially create a market monopoly if not properly regulated.
Nigeria's Dangote Petroleum Refinery is ramping up fuel production to meet national demand after the government introduced a new 15% import tariff on petroleum products. The policy aims to protect domestic refining and reduce the country's long-standing dependence on imported fuel. The refinery, which has a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, is now supplying more than 45 million liters of petrol and 25 million liters of diesel daily, enough to exceed Nigeria's needs. Since beginning production last year, the refinery has helped lower pump prices and ease nationwide fuel shortages. However, local fuel marketers caution that the new tariff could limit import competition and create a monopoly if oversight is weak. They are calling for strong regulatory measures to maintain market balance and prevent future fuel scarcity.
U.S. President Donald Trump has directed the American military to prepare for possible action in Nigeria, accusing the government of failing to protect Christians from Islamist attack. His comments followed increasing claims in part of the U.S. that Christians are being deliberately targeted, although Conflict Monitoring Organization reported no evidence that Christians are being killed more than the Muslims. Nigeria's government responded that any security intervention should be carried out jointly and emphasized that the country remains sovereign. Authorities maintain the extremist group have attacked people across religions and regions. Trump's statements have sparked concern in Nigeria, with calls for stronger domestic effort to tackle insurgents and prevent foreign military involvement.
The United States is signaling possible military involvement in Nigeria after President Donald Trump instructed the U.S. military to prepare for action against Islamist militant groups. Trump accused the Nigerian government of failing to protect Christian communities as debates continues in the U.S. over claims of targeted religious killings. Monitoring organizations say available data does not support allegations that Christians are being killed more than Muslims in Nigeria, a country with a near equal religious population. Nigeria's government has acknowledged the security challenges but maintains that extremist violence has affected people of all faiths. Officials say any foreign support must respect the country's sovereignty and be carried out through cooperation. Trump's remarks have stirred anxiety across Nigeria, with many urging stronger national actions against insurgents to avoid external military intervention. The situation has intensified calls for improved security, community protection, and a coordinated response to long-standing extremist threats in the country.
That is all for the AAU TV Midweek News. We'll take a quick look at our top stories. In higher education, University of Ghana provides over 300 accredited programs. And in health, mpox outbreak expands across Africa. In business, Dangote refinery boosts output nationwide. And international, Nigeria reacts to U.S. military warning. Now, thanks for sticking with us on the Midweek News on AAU TV. You can also get interactive with us on our various social media platforms, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Jemima Deladem. Have a lovely day.